Good morning and welcome to day 16 of Script Gym. This is the last day of week 4 and we'll have one more week of writing and then we'll move on to a recovery week and then a couple of weeks of rewriting. Today is Friday, June 21st, first day of summer. Happy summer. And the quote of the day is, "But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal?" And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win. And that was John F. Kennedy. So my challenge to you is pages 71 to 80, where we're at, and to finish this script really just as strongly as you can, because I know now that you're in the middle, this is the most difficult part. So the warm-up will be up there on the discussion board. So do take 10 minutes or so to do that. It's a shadow boxing workout, very similar to the one that we had done. From there, you go on to the writing exercise, which is 10 minutes, and it's called Get Lost. And this whole day is really about finding your way when you feel kind of lost. So I want you to think about a time where you did get lost. It was probably pre-GPS, and how you felt at the time. Were you panicked? And where were you? Were you alone? Were you in a car? Were you on the street? Did you ask for help? How did you end up finding your destination? And how did you feel afterwards, after you finally did, after being lost? So do take 10 minutes, pause the video, and write down about getting lost once. So here we are. Now that you're back, welcome back. So we're at page 70. Now, if you're not, you're not. But this is, we're assuming, we're well into the second act. We're into the final sequence. Now, if you're new to this, for those of you who have never written a script, or even many who do write the script, this is a very intimidating point because you've done so much already and you sort of lose sight of where you want to go. So you're in the thicket of the forest right now, you're in the weeds. This is what I talked about, the midlife, where you reassess where you've been, you've done so much, and yet you still feel like you have so much to go. So I want to go over just very briefly the elements that should be in a successful second act, because, as I say, so many of the second acts are where it falters, where scripts tend to sag and repeat itself. One, your protagonist should be moving toward that goal. Your protagonist should be learning something and trying it in a different way than they maybe have tried before. They can and continue to throw as many obstacles as possible. I talked about obstacles for several days. So that makes that pursuing whatever that goal is difficult. And I want you to explore any unresolved relationships, that they're having. Those could be romantic. Those could be familial. Those could be antagonistic. Those could be allies. I want you to explore how your character's flaw, which you may have hopefully discovered in your character questionnaire, how is that flaw affecting them at this point? And this is also your secondary characters, your antagonists, where their stories start to flourish and they come to the forward, and as well as your subplots. As long as you're doing some of those things, you at least are moving in the right direction. So continue doing that. Remember, obstacles keep getting bigger. The goals keep getting harder. The hero's flaw is making it more difficult. There's internal conflicts and there's also external conflicts. The subplots are all starting to come to a head. And ideally, again, the subplots will intertwine with your own main story, your A story, as it were. The end of the second act, which we'll go into much more detail on Tuesday, is the end of the line, the seeming death, the low point, the seeming false ending, that there's no way out at that point. The hero has tried everything and they have failed. both the protagonist and the audience feels like we've lost. And you've ideally invested so much in the character and their journey that we feel the same loss that they do. And you got to figure, if that's the end of the act, and where you're at now is getting to that, then this is obviously a very major push that they're going to do before they hit that low point. So that's really your task at this point. You know where you want to end up at the end of today or the end of the next writing session, and you know how you want to get there. So this is your big push. If it's a romantic comedy, we know something's going to happen that they're never going to want to see each other again, or at least one of them, doesn't want to see the other one. If you look at the 40-year-old virgin at the end of the second act, Andy gets into a fight with Trish because she's frustrated and because he keeps avoiding sex. So she storms out, effectively ending the friendship and the relationship. And that's what we believe, that's it, that it's over. So you have to ramp up to that. In the movie Life of Pi, it follows a boy and a tiger stuck in a boat. The end of the second act is them reaching land and the tiger runs away. And we think that's the end of it. So the big lesson is that you're moving toward the end, the demise, the death, the loss, whatever it happened, however you want to envision in your head. And that comes, again, at the end of the act, which we're not quite there. So you're reaching to that point with all your obstacles, all your flaws, and like I say, flaws, if you look at the 40-year-old virgin, if you want to consider his desire to remain a virgin, a flaw, at least his beliefs, his core beliefs are going to affect the story, in which it does, and it comes to a head at the end of the second act. So that's what you're getting toward, and it's not the climax. The climax comes in the third act, but it's a climactic end, demise, false ending, like I said. So that's where you're at, and that's pages 71 to 80. You're not quite at the end of the second act, but you're getting toward that point. You're post-midpoint, and now that's where you're at. If you're not, as I say, then do your best to get to that point. Next week, we're going to have 4 days of writing, and then we're going to have a week off. We're going to have a recovery week, and ideally, you'll spend that week not looking at your script. You will be finished. You'll be, kind of creatively tired, and then it gives you a chance for a fresh perspective when we do the rewrites. So that's the goal here for tomorrow. By tomorrow, finish pages 71 to 80. Wherever you're at, whatever you do every day, submit it. It's your accountability. And I don't care if you do 3 pages, 4 pages, 10 pages, 20 pages, send those pages in. And that's what you did for that day. That's accountability to me in the class, but more importantly, it's accountability to you. So you know that's what I did. Okay. After that, do a workout, short workout. Now we're up to that 38 high knees. As you remember, the high knee, not in a chair, but standing up. A 60-second plank. We're up to a minute. So if you need to do that on your elbows, or you want to do that on a full plank on your hands, do that. Remember how to tense all. It's an amazing exercise. Tenses all of the muscles of your body. 28 lunges. To the right is 1, to the left is another, is 2, 3, 4. So go back and forth. Put your legs at a 90-degree angle, back and forth. A 55-second wall sit, which is very difficult for some, myself included, and 23 push-ups. So that's your workout. Make sure to do that, and make sure you keep a log of the pages that you're writing and the exercise that you're doing, how you feel that day, etc., etc. And then now go write pages 71 to 80. I don't want you to be lost. It's the idea of even if you are lost, you will find your way. Trust me. And I'm here to help you as much as I can, as much as you need it. So please do not hesitate to contact me. And I will see you in person on Tuesday, which is in Moulton Hall, which is 149 on campus, on the main campus. But you'll hear from me on Monday as a reminder and what to expect on week 5. So have a wonderful day, Friday, first day of summer. Hope it's going to be an amazing summer. Trust me, you finish the script and you write and then you rewrite it and you turn it into what it can be and you set the foundation for fitness. It's going to be the most amazing summer you've ever had. So I'm happy to be along the ride, along for the ride with you. And I will see you again on Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you then. Take care. Bye.